Hello everyone. Today I want to talk to you guys about one of my favorite games of all time. That game is I Am Alive. In my opinion, it is the most underrated game I have ever played. There are many great games out there. My favorite games are AAA, and that's just simply the fact that they're marketed well and we see them more. And there are a lot of games that go under the radar. And I really wanted to let you guys know about I Am Alive, as recently it has become backwards compatible with Xbox One backwards compatibility, which opens up a whole new door to people who have never been able to play this game before. It's a third-person action-adventure game in which you have to traverse a destroyed city, and it's a kind of post-apocalyptic because you don't really know what happened. All they talk about is the event, and the story isn't exactly, top tier. We're not playing The Last of Us here, all right? It's not The Last of Us or BioShock Infinite. It's an okay story. It keeps you going. You're interested. You're invested. It keeps you wanting to play more. But what I think really shines here is the interesting gameplay mechanics and just how the game is a lot different from many other action adventure games. This game has an interesting stamina system in which pretty much everything you do requires stamina, and you have to be always watching your stamina bar. Now, the graphics aren't amazing, but they keep up. So I just want to get that out of the way real quick. They're not top tier because from what I understand of this game, it was a much bigger project and it didn't get that full potential realized, and so Ubisoft just released it as is, and I don't think it had much marketing other than maybe a couple of trailers. That's all right because you know what? It's a good game. It's a very good game, and I think everyone should play this game. It is available only on Xbox Live, I believe. It could be on PC. I'm not sure. I don't think it's on PlayStation or PlayStation 4 at all. But anyways, back to what I was saying. In this game, you are trying to survive and trying to find your wife and daughter. And you come across this little girl in which you have to take care of when you're trying to find them. And it's kind of assumed that your wife and daughter are dead, but you don't really ever find out. You never really will. It's kind of hinted at throughout the game, but I won't spoil the ending. It's not exactly, like I said, it's not a storytelling masterpiece, but like I said, it keeps you invested. So some other things that are really interesting about the game is a mechanic that I've never really seen fully and well implemented in a game is the gun mechanics. When you aim at a person and they do not have a gun, typically they'll put their arms up, they'll say, hey man, calm down, and then you can either convince them that after aiming at them for some time, they will kind of put their weapon down. They'll be like, "Hey man, you're bullshitting. You're bullshitting. You don't have any ammo." And then they'll attack you. Or they might not. Some of them might just get down on their knees and then you can strike them down. Or you can shoot them straight on if you have ammo. And ammo is super scarce in this game. It's like bullets. You find 1 or 2 bullets. You don't find more than that. And at most times, I think the most I've ever had at one time was 5 bullets. And you use it very well because there is different types of enemies later on in the game that have body armor and helmets and such. Now, your other weapon that you have is a machete. Now, this machete you use to kill other enemies with melee weapons and strike people down, open doors, fences, gates, stuff like that. And it also has a very dark undertone. There are some very dark elements later in the game with prostitution and, the raiders that live there. There's victims you have to save and help out, and you can choose to help them or you can choose to leave them. You can give them food, water, medicine, whatever they need, or you can just move on. And also, this game isn't just oh, I died, dang it, let's just go back to the last checkpoint. No, you want to stay alive, because if you die, you will lose a retry. This game has a retry option, and a lot of modern games don't have that. A lot of games just have a die, respawn at last checkpoint, move on. This game, it didn't. It had a retry option, and then once you retried, I think it would send you, once you lost all your retries, it would send you really far back. And I think that's interesting. It keeps you careful because you do have to be careful in this game. There are a lot of scary sections in which you have to be very careful, and what I mean by that is this is a climbing game. It's kind of like Assassin's Creed in a sense where you have to be always on your feet, always ready to move, and when you're climbing things, you need to be making sure you're making the right decisions, making sure, oh wait, if I grab this, I might go up a wrong path and then I'm gonna have to climb all the way back down, waste a bunch of stamina. And when you do run out of stamina, it's not just, oh, you fall off and die. You do have a kind of stress time in which you have to rapidly press RT and climb, and then once you get to a safe position, you can restore your stamina, what left you have, and then you have to restore your stamina bar as a whole by drinking or eating some certain foods. There is also health, so when you get hit or shot, you do have to heal yourself, and the climbing mechanics are mainly the main thing, but there are other weapons such as the bow, and there is a small Easter egg in which you can get a shotgun, but you only get 5 rounds for that, and once you use those 5 rounds, you're done. There are a couple small, minuscule extra things you can do, but it's pretty straightforward. You just kind of go from point A to point B, do this mission, do this mission, do this mission. But like I said, it's a really, really good game, and it's kind of hard to tell you how great it is without you playing it. Like, I could go on for all day about how great these mechanics are and how underrated this game is and why more people should play it. And I know it's probably never going to get a sequel because I don't think it sold very well. Like I said, it's very underrated, so it's not exactly, the bestseller of 2011, which is, I think that's when this game came out. Correct me if I'm wrong. And if you have played this game, let me know. I want to hear your guys' opinions if you have. And if you haven't, I highly recommend you pick this game up. And with all that said, I'm going to leave you guys here, and I'll see you guys later.